Hello, welcome to my channel, and today I am reading Smile.dog. Now, if you don't like any of the Creepypasta, don't listen to me, even though I'm not the best reader, but that's fine, because I have great voice acting skills. I imagine, okay? Okay. I first met in person with Mary E. in the summer of 2007. I had arranged with her husband of 15 years, Terrence, to see her for an interview. Mary had initially agreed, since I was not a newsman, but rather an amateur writer, gathering information for a few early college assignments, and, if all went to plan, some pieces of fiction. We scheduled the interview for a particular weekend when I was in Chicago on unrelated business. But at the last moment, Mary changed her mind and locked herself in the couple's bedroom, refusing to meet with me. For half an hour, I sat with Terrence as we camped outside the bedroom door. I listened and taking notes while he attempted fruitlessly to calm his wife. The things Mary said made a little sense, but fit the pattern I was expecting, though I could not see her. I could tell from her voice that she was crying, and more often that not, her objections to speaking with me centered around an intricate diatribe on her dreams, her nightmares. Terrence apologized profusely when we ceased the exercise, and I did my best to take it in stride. Recall that I wasn't a reporter in search of a story, but mercilessly a curious young man in search of information. Besides, I thought at the time I could perhaps find another similar case if I put it into my mind and resources to it. Mary E. was the soy for a small Chicago-based bulletin board system in 1992. When she first encountered Smile.jpg and her life changed forever. She and Terrence had been married for only 5 months. Mary was one of an estimate 400 people who saw the image when it was posted as a hyperlink on the BBS. Though she is the only one who has spoken about the experience, the rest have remained anonymous or perhaps dead. In 2005, when I was only in 10th grade, Smile.jpg was first brought to my attention by my interest in web-based phenomena. Mary was the most often cited victim of what is sometimes referred to as Smile.dog. The being Smile.jpg is reputed to display. What caught my interest was the sheer lack of information, usually to the point that people don't believe it even exists other than a rumor or hoax. It is unique because, though the entire phenomenon centers on a picture file, that the file is nowhere to be found on the internet. Certainly many photo-manipulated simulacra litter the web, showing up the most frequency on sites such as Imageboard, 4chan, particularly the /x/dash focused paranormal subboard. It is suspected that these are fake because they do not have the effect the true Smile.jpg is believed to have, namely sudden onset temporal lobe, aplasia, and acute anxiety. This purported reaction in the viewer and one of the reasons the phantom-like Smile.jpg is regarded with such disdain. Since this is pretty absurd, though depending on whom you ask and reluctant to acknowledge Smile.jpg existence might be just as much out of fear as it is in disbelief. Neither Smile.jpg nor Smile.dog is mentioned anywhere on Wikipedia, though the website features articles on such other, perhaps more scandalous shock sites as Hello JPG or Two Girls, One Cup. Any attempt to create a page pertaining to Smile.dog is summarily deleted by any of Encyclopedia's many admins. Encounters with Smile.dog are the stuff of internet legend. Mary E's story is not unique. There are unverified rumors of Smile.dog showing up in the early days of unset Senate, and even one's persistent tale that in 2002 a hacker flooded the forums of rumor and satire website Something Awful with a deluge of Smile.dog pictures, rendering almost half of forums users at the time epic. It is also said that in the mid to late 50s, that Smile.dog circulated on an unset and attachment of a chain email with the subject line, "Smile, God loves you." Yet, despite the huge exposure these stunts would generate, there are few people who admit to having experienced any of them, and no trace of the file or any link has ever been discovered. Those who claim that have seen Smile.jpg often weakly joke that they were far too busy to save a copy of the picture to their hard drive. However, all arraigned victims offer the same description of the photo: a dog-like creature, usually described as appearing similar to a Siberian husky, illuminated by the flash of camera, sits in a dim room, the only background detail that is visible being a human hand extending from the darkness. Sorry. Near the left side of the frame, the hand is empty, but is usually described as beckoning. Of course, most attention is given to the dog, or dog creature, as some victims are more certain than others about what they claim to have seen. The muzzle of the beast is repeatedly split in a widened grin, revealing 2 rows of very, very straight, very sharp, very human-looking teeth. This, of course, not a description given immediately after viewing the picture, but rather a recollection of victims who claim to have seen the picture endlessly repeated in their mind's eye during the time they are, in reality, having epileptic fits. These fits are reported to continue intermittently, often while the victims sleep, resulting in very vivid and disturbing nightmares. These may be treated with medication, though in some instances it is more effective than others. Mary E. I assumed I was not on effective medication. That was why, after my visit to her apartment in 2007, I sent out feelers to several folklore and urban legend-oriented news groups, websites, and mailing lists, hoping to find the name of supposed victim as Smile.dog, who felt more interested in talking about his experiences. For a time, nothing happened, and at length I forgot completely about my pursuits, since I had begun my freshman year of college and was quite busy. Mary contacted me via email, however, near the beginning of March 2008. Dear Mr. L., I'm incredibly sorry about my behavior last summer when you came to interview me. I hope you did understand that it was no fault of yours, but rather my own problems that led me to act out as I did. I realized that I could have handled the situation more decorously. However, I hope you will forgive me. At the time, I was afraid. You see, for 15 years, I have been haunted by Smile.dog. Smile.dog comes to me in my sleep every night. I know it sounds silly, but it is true. There is insufferable quality about my dreams, my nightmares, that makes them completely unlike any real dreams I've ever had. I do not move and do not speak. I simply look ahead, and the only thing ahead of me is the scene from the horrible picture. I see the beckoning hand, and I see the Smile.dog. It talks to me. It is not a dog, of course, though I am quite sure what it really is. It tells me when will leave me alone if only I do what it asks. All I must do, it says, is spread the word. That is how it phrases its demands, and I know exactly what it means. It wants me to show it to someone else. And I could. The week after my incident, I received in mail a manila envelope with no return address. Inside was only a 3.5-inch floppy diskette. Without having to check, I knew precisely what was on it. I've thought for only long time about my opinions. I could show it to a stranger, a coworker. I could even show it to Terrence, as much as the idea disgusted me. And what would happen then? Well, if Smile.dog kept its word, I could sleep. Yet, if it lied, what would I do? And who was to say something worse would not come for me if I did as the creature asked. So I did nothing for 15 years, though I kept the diskette hidden among my things. Every night for 15 years, Smile.dog has come to me in my sleep and demanded that I spread the word. For 15 years, I have stood strong, though there have been many hard times. Many of my fellow victims on the BBS board, where I first encountered Smile.dog, stopping posting. I heard some of the committed suicide. Others remained completely silent, simply disappearing off the face of the web. They are the ones I worry most about. I sincerely hope you will forgive me, Mr. L. But last summer, when you contacted me and my husband about an interview, I was near the breaking point. I decided to give you the floppy diskette. I did not care if Smile.dog was lying or not. I wanted to end it. You were a stranger, someone I had no connection with, and I thought I would not feel sorrow when you took the diskette, as part of your research sealed your fate. Before you arrived, I realized what I was doing was plotting to ruin your life. I could not stand the thought, and in fact, I still cannot. I was ashamed, Mr. L, and I hope that this warning will dissuade you from further investigation of Smile.jpg. You may, in time, encounter someone who is, if not weaker than I, then woolly more evaporated. Someone who will not hesitate to follow Smile.dog's orders. Stop while you are still in whole. Sincerely, Mary E. Terrence contacted me later that month with the news that his wife had killed herself. While cleaning up the various things she left behind, closing emails and life like he happened upon the above message. He was a man in chambers. He wept as he told me to listen to his wife's advice. He found the diskette. He revealed and burned it until it was nothing but a sneaky pile of blackened plastic. The part that most disturbed him, however, was how the diskette had hissed as it melted. Like some sort of animal, he said. I will admit, I was a little uncertain about how to respond to this. At the first, I thought perhaps it was a joke, with a couple bellating playing with the situation in order to get rise out of me. A quick check of several Chicago newspapers' online obituaries, however, proved that Mary E. was indeed dead. There was, of course, no mention of suicide in the article. I decided that, for a time at least, I would not further pursue the subject of Smile.jpg, especially since I had finals coming up at the end of May. But the world has odds way of testing us. Almost a full year after I returned from my disastrous interview with Mary E., I received another email. From Elizer82@.com. Subject: Smile. Hello. I found your email address through a mailing list. Your profile said you were interested in Smile.dog. I have saw it. It is not very bad as everyone says. I have sent you here. Just spreading the word. Smile face. The final line chilled me to the bone. According to my email client, there was one file attached called naturally Smile.jpg. I considered downloading it for some time. It was most likely fake, I imagined. And even if it weren't, I was never wholly convinced of Smile.jpg's particular powers. Mary E.'s account had shaken me, yes, but she was probably mentally unbalanced anyway. After all, how could a simple image do what Smile.jpg was said to accomplish? What sort of creature was it that could break one's mind with only the power of an eye? And if such things were painfully obscured, then why did the legend exist at all? If I downloaded the image, I looked at it, and if Mary turned out to be correct, Smile.dog came to me in my dreams demanding I spread the word, what would I do? Would I live my life as Mary had, fighting against urge to give in until I died? Or would I simply spread the word, eager to put to rest? And if I choose the latter route, what could I do? Whom would I burden it to? If I went through my earlier intention to write a short article about Smile.dog, I decided I could attach it as evidence, and anyone who read the article, anyone who took interest, who could be affected, and even assuming the Smile.jpg attached to the email was genuine. Would I be capricious enough to save myself in that manner? Could I spread the word? Yes, I could. So that's it. And there's Smile.dog. And there's hands. So I don't really look. Okay. So thank you for listening. I'm sorry I was a little bad at some points, but it's a long article. For me, of course. Well, we're gonna go. So